Yeah, I didn't know if you guys need to do anything before we started, or approve the minutes or anything like that. Okay. Oh!
Oh, you got that.
That's the truth here. Did you get that on video?
You tell me, act being a kid. Oh, I mean, take you seriously when you're sitting on half foot off the floor.
You're my height now.
Yeah, that's right. I think this is Gerald's doing.
I actually
These here?
gave it to Jed
Did that-
last week,
what
but
is
I
it
think
for-
he must have figured it
I
out.
haven't read it.
Well,
Well,
yeah. I'll switch for that. This one will probably tip over, so.
You think we need a new chair?
Yeah, yeah, I think you might, or, oh, this is a lot better, yeah.
Sorry.
That was great.
That is good. Were y'all ready for me?
Yeah.
All right. So we, the first thing I asked for you on the agenda was on the selection of grand jury. I don't know if you're all familiar with what a grand jury is. A grand jury basically helps the state's attorney's office or the prosecutor in investigating cases and then decides if a person's charged. In Illinois, a person can be charged with a felony one of two ways. They can be charged by an information, which is what the state's attorney signs, or by an indictment, which is what the grand jury signs or agrees to. If the state's attorney signs off on a charge, the judge has to find probable cause, and the case goes to trial. If the grand jury indicts someone, that's it, and it goes immediately to trial. One of the reasons that grand juries are used is to help the police and the prosecutor investigate the case. So if you have a case that's difficult or tricky, sometimes they'll go before a grand jury for them to give their input on it, for them to maybe give suggestions on investigations or what they think is an important part of the case. Another reason it's brought in, what we've used it for often, is if we have a complicated or serious case with many witnesses, many times we'll bring those witnesses into the grand jury, put them under oath, and then they testify, and then you have their testimony under oath. We've done that before too. Grand juries last about 18 months. In our county, we've not had a grand jury seated since we moved to the courthouse annex. About the time we left here is when our last grand jury expired. We've just not used it. My thought was, with my leaving office soon, that it would be good for the next state's attorney to have that ability to use a grand jury if it was necessary, so to get that process started. So your involvement in that is, normally if we pick what's called a petit jury, where they find somebody guilty or not guilty, that's done through the circuit clerk's office, and the judge and the attorneys, they all are involved in the selection. With the grand jury, the statute says that the circuit clerk, well, first the judge orders it, then the circuit clerk draws the names, and we come to you for you to basically, I think the statute says draw by lot, or by random, the names, and pick the first 16 and then the next 12. So we can go about doing that one of two ways. What I had asked, when the circuit clerk presents their names, they can present them in alphabetical order or random order, so which would be my lot. I've asked them to present them both ways, and you can decide if we want to actually get a bowl or hat out and actually draw them out ourselves, or if you just want to use the random order the circuit clerk has. I think it's your decision to make. And I have a list if you want to take a look at it. These are the names in random order. And so if you see anyone on the list that is not an inhabitant of the county, is not 18 years of age, or a citizen of the United States, they would be stricken. And then there's another catch-all that says if they are not free from all legal exception, or not a fair character, or proved integrity or sound judgment.
What's the someone on here that we know that is out of town a lot working?
That would be they would make that pitch to the judge. You're basically looking at it, do they meet the legal requirements to serve, and then the judge could excuse them if they really can't some other obligation that prevents them from serving. So the grand jury, one thing I didn't tell you guys, I'm sorry, the grand jury is a 16-person jury, and then there is a supplemental panel of 12, so in essence, it would be 28. Now, all the names on this list would be summoned to court. Now, the first 16 that you choose would be the grand jury, if they're all there. And the next 12 that you choose would be the supplemental panel, if they're all there. And then any others would fill in if for some reason someone else was excused by the court, or if people had moved and we didn't know it, or they didn't receive their summons.
Terrible.
I'm good, you?
I'm good.
Good.
I believe the court ordered 75 names to be drawn, so that's the list that's been given to you. And then once, okay, so you know, the next step in the process, once they're approved by you, then I will draft an actual separate document that'll list the 16 grand, the regular panel and the 12 supplemental panel for Haley to sign and record in the minutes of the county.
This one here. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know about her. I got a big problem with her.
Is it me?
No, my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's got
And
everything.
corners and all that good stuff. It's cool.
A big question mark between, beside the three that are questionable to me, as
Okay.
far as probably felony charged.
Yeah. And I would say,
Those 75 names.
right, let me step back to you. And I would say to avoid people's name broadcast, just you refer to them by number, because I've got the same sheet in front of me.
Yes.
And then once you make your selection, I'll present the actual list of those selected to Haley. So if there's any,
Just go through
The
there. and
statute,
pick-
right.
Just go through there and pick who.
well, the statute doesn't say that, doesn't really say how you have to do it. It just says by random or by lot, you have to pick them. So I think, I read the law to mean, if you go down this list, and so you come to number one, and either you nor Gerald have a problem, well, then he's on, because he's by random been picked. Number two, and then if you come to one without saying their name you don't want, and just say no, then that person is stricken, we go to the next one.
You got any other, you got questions?
No. Just got a couple of them off, but I thought it was good.
And really, yours is,
I don't say anything bad, but I don't know.
is more of a veto than like you get to pick the best 16 out of the 75. It's really, this is the random order.
Gotcha.
Now, another way we could do it is I could take this list, this is the list in alphabetical order, and we could actually sit here and draw them out of a hat. Either way, this is random, and we can make this random.
I'm gonna try to draw them out of the hat. That's
Okay.
okay, I don't care.
Makes me no difference.
Makes me no difference either.
I don't either.
The only issue with drawing them out of a hat would be that we didn't announce the names.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't wanna do that, but
And I'm happy to do it.
it's fine. Yeah, we don't have to do that. So we just need to start at 1, 2, and just take the first 16 basically.
And if there's any there that you do not feel meet the
And
qualifications,
go on down to the next one.
they just say, yeah.
But if you draw them out of a hat, you can still just do it by numbers.
That's true.
Once you're
And in fact, I
75
think
or-
they're, let's see if this works out. Yeah, I think their number here, there's a number by the jurors,
Mhm.
and it matches the number on
That
this
over
sheet
here.
that I've given you.
Yeah, just number 5 there. Yep,
Okay.
that's correct.
Well, would you, I didn't obviously cut these up, would you, could I ask somebody in your office to do
Sure.
that, be fine? I'll step out, and we could probably move on to that closed session spot while this meeting prepared.
That one.
Be right back.
We need to accept the minutes from last week.
Get it done, thank you for that. Guess it switched that chair.
I thought about it.
Do you want to move on to the, oh, your 3 votes?
Sign the bottom of it, is that what we do?
You just, somebody makes a motion.
This guy was pretty.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes.
Second thing.
Okay.
You guys want to talk about, I think I have 2 items on the agenda for closed session. One was personnel, and the other was litigation. I really don't need to talk about the personnel today, so if you could go into closed session to talk about pending litigation, if someone can make that motion, I'd appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
Follow one to pull out. Number 48.
Make sure that's true.
I'll just pull it, you look at it, you vote next to it.
57.
Is that good?
Yeah. 67. 64. $60. $52. $25. You can do.
Okay, where is number 11? What was that number, Joe? I'm sorry.
17.
Yeah. This date's a good thing.
Yeah, he may be.
What's this?
9
Oh,
years old.
I think that's,
Strike that one.
let's strike that one.
Okay, this is still number 11.
Yes, sir.
$58. $72. $47. $39.
Those are 14, 15.
18.
Let's strike that number.
Yeah, 84 years
We'll
old.
strike that one.
Okay.
Strike that one.
Okay.
Three.
Yep.
$28.
All right, so that is the 16 for the regular panel, and we need 12 for the supplemental panel.
You need these, Patrick?
Yes, these are another envelope. You just put those in that envelope. You have a paper clip, maybe you can just put them together. Tell you what, I got a paper clip right here.
This be the first one?
First one, yes.
32. $45. $50. Number 7. $41. $70. Number 9. Yeah.
Read that and then call it out to yourself.
Okay.
Can you pronounce it?
No.
Don't try it.
What's the number?
49.
You've heard of that?
It's 63.
Last one.
Yep, that's it.
$66.
All right. So take all these. This, I got that envelope. What I'll do, Haley, is I'll type them up and put them to you for your signature.
Okay. Mark one back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your time.
Patrick,
Thank you.
two questions.
Sure.
When will these people know that they've been selected for grand jury?
They should receive a summons soon.
A summons.
Yeah.
And then what happens like number 25, let's say, like says you can't do it, then will the commissioners have to go back and draw?
The judge will be involved at that step. This will be the commissioners, for this panel, their only involvement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There will be, I think, 75 people brought to the courtroom in all that day, but only 28 will be selected.
Gotcha. Okay. Good deal. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Patrick?
Yes.
Is that your coat?
It is. Boy, you're on it.
I'm Barbara.
Joe? We need some.
That's the only thing I need, they would like to have some.
Did they get all the bank stuff figured out? Signature cards.
I was at City National Bank yesterday, and, they're still having, to reprint all of the signature cards. Hopefully it will be done today.
There you go.
Thanks. And that's,
We're good.
okay, thanks.
Bye. Yep, you're up.
I had my head on there first, but this one is that I'm asking for us to amend the budget for highway department, for the county highway fund. Talked about this last week, as we get a roof put on our office. All it is asking for is to add a line item called building and grounds and put a budget amount of $20,000 in that line item. With the attached revision sheet.
And have you talked to Jason about the roof? Have you got another bid on it?
I haven't yet.
That's good.
I have called Integrity Roofing, and they came out to measure it up and look, and they're good on it, so I'll have two after that.
I've actually, we actually talked about it. We'll wait till Jason comes back next week. We'll have a discussion about it as well, about what we got planned possibly.
Okay.
Just, it's a good thing.
I do.
Something that affects this, or?
Well, it's the roof part of it. Your roof is what it's talking about.
Okay.
So that's why I don't know if we need to hold up on this or not. Is
Well,
this
that's
for
what
the
I'm
roof in
saying.
general?
Yeah, I mean.
I think we need to hold that off until next week, do we not?
Can
I think we need to wait till Jason gets back.
they just got to split their money up, like that, for grounds.
Well, he said this is basically for the roofing part, though. didn't he?
Well, I mean, I put an
Yeah,
extra
but-
amount in there. Over the, I don't know how many years I've been there, we've never had a line item like this. We've always done all the maintenance and everything ourselves on everything that we need to do out there.
Yeah.
So we've never had to have a line item. I'm basically creating this line item so I can have an avenue to replace the roof. But it's also for other things that may come up, but I may not budget that much money.
Well,
I don't have to spend it.
Yeah, I know, I just, before we move forward on the roof, is, all I'm saying is, we need to be sure, talk to Joe, which we can't do a roof right now anyway, it's too cold. But
Right, it won't be done till the spring
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. But before we sign a contract with anybody, we need to make sure we discuss it, because $14,000, we're gonna get it, obviously. We got it, I think we got it figured out.
Go one of those asters out there, you know what those are called?
No, I put those out there for my purposes.
Oh, okay.
It's basically, the asterisks symbolize parts of my budget that I am using reserve money for, in part or in entirety. Just so I can keep track of the fact that there's no possible way we can budget that amount of money that's next to those asterisks if we run out of reserve, because we don't have enough revenue coming in to cover it. So I'm just signifying it some way so that I know that, hey, that amount of money, I want to keep the spending down to a minimum. I don't want to spend that whole entire budget if I can help it.
Is there anything you want, what do you want to do? You
We
wanna
can hold off.
You want, can you
Yeah,
hold
we'll
off?
just table it.
Well, let's table that until next week, and
Go ahead to the minutes for next week.
Yeah.
so I think we've got it figured out.
We got a plan.
We've got a plan. We've got to save the county.
That sounds good.
We could save $12,000, would that be good? That's,
I, got your, tax levy fixed, the name changed, so it's correct now.
After I left, Jason called me and I did a little more research on it and sent him a text. That worked out then. Okay. So the thing I have on the agenda is passing an ordinance, basically allowing us to purchase a used 2017 John Deere 6105 tractor, and also trade in John Deere 6400 tractor that we have. The ordinance basically spells out that from Hudson's, they're offering the used 6105 for $53,000. They are giving us an allowance of $16,000 on our trade-in. So the total out of pocket, or the total price that we have to pay them for the new tractor and give them our tractor is $37,000.
what'd they ever do about the warranty?
The warranty, they are going to be giving us or purchasing us a 3-year, 2,000-hour powertrain warranty for nothing included in that cost. And over what I talked to you about last week, they actually knocked another $1,000 off the price too, because it was $38,000 in the tractor, now it's $37,000 in the tractor. That's where they stand way to compare apples to apples other than to tell you what the list price on this tractor was. This-
83,000 maybe,
Yeah.
to an individual.
On the 6105E, it,
Yeah, does it make a difference that it's, you know, at 6105E, is that built lighter with it being an economy tractor than it would be, say,
H.
or even Kubota or any, I'm just asking, I don't know. I'm not sure on the economy series on the John Deere's, I'm just asking a question.
I don't know on that.
I know they're good tractors. I definitely know they're good tractors. I was just wondering.
Sound like it'd be a fuel thing, doesn't it?
That's what it sounds like. Well, of course, it's a tier 4, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Which, there's no way around that right now.
We went over to look at it, and it has, you know, depth fluid on it, and also, it also has a regen cycle too, so.
Mine's got the same thing. And it's, but you can continue working through the regen cycle. They suggest you stop and put it neutral and let it burn out, but it can take up to an hour. But there's a work button on it where you can push and you can work straight through it.
I think it would be such a long process of regen when you're burning depth fluid.
I know. Well, I don't know if you actually put in depth in them tractors, do you? Mine you don't.
Yeah, I think so. It's got a depth tank on it.
I don't know depth, no.
Anyway, Matt, George went over to look at it over at Hudson's, and they said it had one on there. They thought they had one on there, so.
My tractor don't have one. Mine just got a
Are
regenerator.
those others got that on there, Joe? You're the ones you're gonna keep?
No, they're all.
No, those are old enough, they're
Yeah,
gonna have a
that's what I was
regen.
thinking.
Now, the suggested list price on this 6105 is $83,911.80. And they had, I guess, sold it or whatever to Tennessee DOT for $74,423. And of course, like I said, they only put 14 hours on it. So I don't know if they sold it to them or if they rented it or whatever, but that was the extended price to Tennessee DOT. And now they're asking us for $53,000 for it, so it's basically almost $31,000 off the suggested list
Yeah.
price. It wouldn't be our suggested list price, because government prices are a little bit lower.
Usually about 8 to 10%, so it'd be around 77,000. If it's imported again, they'll probably.
So, I mean, Kubotas and Coyotes, I mean, they're not that expensive as some of the suggested lists. I think their suggested list for a comparable tractor are more around the $60,000 to $65,000 range. I checked on, we got a price on the Coyote, and I don't know what this price represents, but it was only $53,000 per new, and I don't think that's retail price to the public.
No, I think that was closer to 60.
Sounds low, but it's.
I think it was closer to 66, if I'm not mistaken.
Kubota M5 111, the suggested list on it was 61,000. I'm assuming kind of in the same range.
I don't know if, I heard this, you know, those clubs down there, cycle. You told me, I heard that.
I've heard something about that.
Yeah. It's last month, I think.
This is a copy of the ordinance that Patrick wrote for me, and he's, if you vote on it and approve it, has a place for the chairman's signature and test by the clerk. I don't know how it fits being here, I don't know if one of y'all can sign it.
Yeah. Sure. It's cold in here.
It's really fun here. It's like ice.
Just noticed. It goes from hot to cold. Last time it was.
But, yeah,
burnt
last
up.
year it was really warm.
It's 1300 degrees. It's 1,300 degrees in here last week.
It was cold yesterday too.
It's a
And this is the
crack of wind
coldest
today.
room.
Oh, look at that, it's shattered.
It's shattered. Can we make Gerald?
Yeah.
Can either one of us sign it?
Well, it's got, that's the thing on it.
That's what I figured.
Do you need to have that today?
Just wanted it today, cause I wanted to actually go over there today and get it worked out. Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess Jason's signature is just a representation that y'all voted on it and passed it. Passing it to two people, you can sign it for
Yeah.
Jason, or you can sign it in his absence, I would think. I'm not an expert on that.
Maybe that's why Gerald's the expert.
I don't know.
But I guess, yeah, I mean, just, I guess it's checks and balances that we have to have an ordinance passed to divide it. It's just, that, you know, if I was spending $30,000 or less, I don't think anybody would have to approve it. I think they could do it, but since it's over that amount, that's why. Do an ordinance form, that's part of the statute.
Well, you got them all working in the shop today?
Oh, they're out today. I'm not really sure where Matt has them. He's got them.
You ready to Broadway?
Creepy Ridge Road, whenever you turn off Lever Camp Road, right past the bridge. Carl Burnham has a painted spot on the road. There's, people keep busting tires wide open there. It's, I don't know, I haven't been down there to look at it, but he said he's in the market.
We built a hole there just about too long ago.
I'm sorry?
We built a hole there not too long ago.
He
Must have
called
sunk
just,
in a
he
good
called
bit.
us last week, yeah, he said that he's busted 3 on it in the recent past, and then been several others. So just, I'm gonna pass that on to you.
It's too cold to get our
Oh,
patching
no.
machine out there right now, but I we could fill it with something.
I want to sign it.
Huh?
I want to sign it.
No.
I didn't think so.
Who's the vote on it?
Yeah, you can vote on it. Have somebody who make a motion and second, so.
I'll make a motion. County engineer, Terry Baxter. I'll make the motion.
I don't, for all to give this to be okay, I mean, I don't know, Haley, how this works, but there has to be an ordinance number put on here. I mean, I guess it needs to be recorded somewhere, I'll leave you a copy,
Okay.
but I don't know how to get the ordinance number, you guys have like 97 numbers over there?
Yeah, I'll have to.
One of them might know one of those. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else unless you all do.
Only I tell you about the road, that's it. Just have Matt run out, take a peek at it, at least put a pole in or something, let people know
Well,
it's
I
there.
was out there yesterday and I mean, I saw a little bump there in the road where we filled that hole, but it wasn't like dropped all the way in, it was just.
He said he said this is a drop off, it's the people who busted, so I don't know. I haven't been up there to look at it myself, so I don't know.
I didn't see that yesterday.
Maybe it's a washout or something. He said he was painting or something.
When did he paint it?
Within the last 6-7 days.
I didn't notice anything yesterday, but I.
It's right past the bridge, I think it's right
Maybe,
on.
maybe talking about the bridge, maybe talking about the bridge above it, I'll go.
Well, you know, right there where Columbus's driveway is, when you go across the bridge, there's a gravel lane, it's right past that, from what I understand. Right there on the left. Or right before it, it's just right past the bridge.
Oh, yeah, the last thing is, I don't know, courthouse is switched over where you have Comcast phone service and internet service. But we've had Comcast internet service for a couple of years now, and it's been good. It's one of the better services we've had. We were thinking about bundling our phone with it, porting the numbers over and bundling the phone with it. We would save about $80 or $90 a month by doing that. I guess I just wanted opinions on it, how good the phone service is or what. I mean,
I've never used phone service. Is that what you all use?
I
Seems
don't have
like
any complaints.
Okay.
it saves money.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Our phone, just for 2 lines, was costing us almost $140. It's 2 phone lines from Frontier, so we could bundle it with,
One is just a fax.
Comcast. Well, one is a fax, we use it for fax and for the shop, the other one is just for the office. Like I said, if we bundle them together, we can save. Comcast is like for business, it's a 3-year contract deal, and that's what the price is, for 3 years, and then we visit it after 3 years, and it may actually be a little cheaper. So we've had good luck out of their internet. They haven't raised the price on us on that, they've actually lowered it since we've had it initially, so.
It saves money then. By all means.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Joe.
So is this a sit-down chair? I'm gonna go to the grill.
Now, Patrick swapped it out.
First of all, I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate JJ in the treasurer's office giving me updated information for the first time ever, that I've had been able to compare my expenses with the county's. I appreciate that, and when I did so, I found out that I was a little bit overspent in one line item. So I'm just need you guys' signature to move $250 from miscellaneous line item to equipment, so that I'm not over budget. Otherwise, I'll give you this as well, it's showing I'm well under budget and everything else. I just have one more expense that goes on that report, and again, I'm kind of making sure that I'm getting accurate numbers based on what the treasurer's office has as far as expenses. It's kind of nice to have updated information for a change, and it's mostly appreciated. And like I said, I have an amendment that I need you guys to sign so that I can move that line item. Just a procedural thing. I don't know, does that go to you, Haley, then? Or, okay. That's all I got for now.
It's cold down there.
No, it's not too bad, you know. It's really hard to regulate this heat here. I mean, when you leave this heat on all night and I come in, it's 84 degrees in my office. It's like a sauna.
Yeah, so it wasn't here last
And,
year.
and then, you know, like I said, you know, and that's, you know, if you, I'm sure it's more comfortable up here, you know, than when they leave it on versus.
I don't know about comfortable.
Yeah.
We usually have to have the windows open.
But anyway,
But
that's,
it's been really cold the last.
it's a challenge.
Like where
I
it's-
try to help Marcia out and kind of, when things get, I kind of help monitor a little bit.
Somebody needs to make a motion about this.
I'll make a motion to amend the budget for assessment.
I'll second.
And like I said, I gave you a copy of where I stand. That doesn't include the salary, but this is the one that I can really control how much money we spend. And I try to always be, if you look at the history of that office, we're typically about $15,000-$20,000 under budget. I try to always, you know, budget is just a roadmap to where I think I'm gonna be, but if I can save money, I'm gonna save money every chance I get. So I do have a couple of file cabinets that I'm getting under equipment, so that's the only thing that is not in that projected expenses. So if you ever have any questions about the expenses in that office, I'm happy to come up and discuss anything. That's all I have. I still feel like I'm pretty small over here. You guys have a great day. Jeff, get a chance.
Yeah,
Stop
did you
by.
get those? I'm gonna come down there. as soon as
Okay,
I-
yeah, okay, great.
Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Maybe sleeping.
I don't have anything, I'm just, oh, let's come over and listen.
Oh.
Morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. For emergency management wise, the only thing I've done is all the angels are gone off the tree, so it's good. It's already started receiving some gifts back, and I'll be having a rat party sometime soon.
Good deal.
As for on the IT side of everything, we've had a few issues this week. Of course, Haley's office, our keyboard having issues, but in the treasurer's office, the previous office holders, when they were on the way out, I guess the IT come in and didn't put Fight back on their, back on one of their little workstations that they have set aside, so we had to work on that. It's very concerning knowing that each office has 2 to 3 computers per workstation that they're going between, and then also some of the workstations, which in the treasurer's office, are still working off of Windows XP. It still poses a very, very big security risk for us. I mean, like as in, you know, for example, I mean, we all joke around about Russia's hacking all our stuff, but still, things like that can happen. We need to look at trying to possibly combining everything into one and having a centralized location for all of our IT equipment instead of being spread out between the assessor's office, the treasurer's office, and the clerk's office. Kind of a centralized location. As for email wise, I took and reached out to CDW. There's not really much of a government discount for like Office 365. A lot of times, you know, back in the day, we purchased the CDs for the Office Suite, Word, Excel, Outlook. Now you can still do that. It still poses a really high cost, but you can buy yearly Office 365 hosted, and you always get an updated version of Office every time that they take and upgrade it. So, and then you can go between devices too. You have it on your phone, your tablet, wherever it may be. To have hosted email, to have, if we want to upgrade everybody's Office suite, the yearly cost right now is $141.45 per seat, so that's per person. I have a quote for 10 users. I don't know if that's the total amount we're going to be using or not. That'd be 10 licenses. The total cost for all those would be $1,414.50. That would include, everybody would have their own personal email, well, work email. I've already got it set up for Mass Lake Emergency Management in my administrative portal. I've already got the domain that I brought over, and everybody would have control of everybody's email and their Office suite. So when they left, we could turn their licensing off from that user, and they won't have access to it no more. And Office is more of a, it can become a fringe benefit, especially at home. You put it on your devices. When they leave, well, we turn it off, then we'll be able to use it more. Now, the problem is we went to the lower versions, like just for the email part, like the $4 or $5 per seat. The problem with that is, I don't know if everybody has Outlook, and they could have an older unsupported version of Outlook in the Office suite, and that still poses once again a security risk and outdated equipment. So, there's different levels we can go with, but the Pro Plus package here on this quote that I got from CDW, well, it's a high cost, but it will help. It'll help on that part. So when we get rid of our old desktops, we can delete everything. No way we have access to nothing at all. Some of the things we can look at doing. I don't know if we want to, for the next fiscal year, look at maybe doing an IT budget or an IT department budget, so we can budget these expenditures. There's a lot of work we need to do in our infrastructure here on equipment wise. We need to get everything inventoried per office, have a central inventory to know what we have. Computers, they last around 5 years. After that, they need to be upgraded. try and maybe get upgrade plans for IT wise, security wise, putting safeguards in place, because we currently do not. The only office that I know of right now that has safeguards in place is emergency management. Everybody else is just relying off the Comcast gateway to protect her from any outside threats. We have sensitive data here, especially down our assessor's office, the clerk's office, and the treasurer's office. We don't even want to get hold of our financials or anybody's personal information. So we need to look at it. That'd be one of our goals for 2019. Here's a quote, if you guys want to look at it, it's one from CDW.
Is that a one-time?
That is once every year, it's a
Once a
yearly
year.
thing. So,
Hello, boys, girls.
Hey.
I said girls.
but also I know I was talking last week about Jason about our budget. I rewrote our budget. It's going to reflect, I haven't fully submitted yet. I'm gonna meet with Jason on Friday and try to explain a couple of our higher costs. Also have a plan. I've got, once I get Brian here on time, we've got our 2019 goals, what we want to do, breakdown per quarter. We have a lot of things we want to do for 2019, a lot of big things, so hopefully we can get that going. But anybody, questions, concerns? No? I haven't got shipping confirmation yet. As soon as I do, I'll email it to you.
Okay. I went through 3 different keyboards this last week, and I found out it was the keyboard after all, it was the switch.
Yeah, a little switch, they switch between computers, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you work smarter, not harder. If, when we go out and do these danger tree delivering the gifts, I might reach out to a few departments to come out. I got right around, I think it's 19 families. Maybe get you guys to come out, help deliver gifts, whatever, when else get it. I'll have to probably get an information waiver signed for you guys from Mr. Collins Shelter.
Okay.
So, but
You'll have-
anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
So it's New Year's Day.
Nope. I'm not eating Christmas Eve.
Me either.
I'm not.
We're closed Christmas Eve.
And I probably won't eat Christmas Day.
No, I won't be here.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see what Jason has to say about this.
Text him, because I was supposed to ask that today, he wasn't here.
Yeah, well, I'll come Christmas.
I'm not coming up here Christmas Day.
Michelle, will you be here Christmas?
Probably not.
I mean, I'll be the only one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll make my meeting. I take this serious. We're gonna be here.
Was that plural or singular?
Ain't you gonna be here?
Oh,
Are you,
okay.
are you gonna be here Christmas? Probably not.
What day is that? Tuesday? I can be.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Christmas Eve, I may have to be.
You started the meeting at noon. I might be here.
If somebody's cooking.
I'm not coming on Christmas.
I'm not. Unless somebody's cooking.
That sounds good.
What days again?
December 26th, Wednesday, January 2nd is Wednesday.
Yeah, I think that'd probably work for me. What about you?
What is it?
The day after Christmas and the day after New Year's Day on the Wednesday, where the meeting would normally be on Tuesday, would that be
Yeah.
good with you?
Yeah, that'll work.
Ask Jason if he's got any of that information laying around for Eugene, and then we can, all I gotta do is text the guy the information.